The US is about to get more involved in the Syrian conflict. Despite saying this in 2013,
I will not put American boots on the ground in Syria.
Obama says US special forces will now be on the ground advising Kurdish fighters. Okay, so why the change? In the last month, there's been a major development in Syria. Beginning on September 30th, Russia began bombing more than 1,600 targets in the country. Those strikes have killed 185 civilians, 131 ISIS fighters, and 279 rebels. Like the US, which began bombing Syria last year, Russia says it's targeting what it calls terrorists. But the two countries seem to have a different idea of who the terrorists are. Over the last month, this is where US bombs have been dropped, mostly on territory controlled by ISIS. And this is where Russian bombs have landed during the same time, mostly near the front lines, where the Syrian government and the rebels who want to overthrow it are fighting. Russia is one of President Assad's biggest allies, so it's not really a surprise that the majority of its airstrikes have been targeting the rebels, including some that are supported by the United States. So far, Russia's involvement hasn't led to major gains for the Syrian army, but it's definitely strengthened its position on the battlefield. An Assad victory goes against what the US says it wants in Syria, which is probably why it's getting more involved on the ground. Meanwhile, the Russian campaign has had another impact off the battlefield. It's reignited the political conversation about the future of Syria. Several countries backing different sides in the war met to discuss a way out on Friday, and crucially, both Iran and Russia, Assad's biggest supporters, were at the table. The problem is nobody can agree on what should happen to Assad, but the fact that all these sides are talking could count as progress. The only people missing from these talks? Actual Syrians. Can there be a real solution without them?